Hey everyone, it's Stubbsy. So, you may not know, but I play Fate Grand Order. Fate Grand Order. I've been playing for, I don't know, maybe longer than a week or two, and I gotta say, pretty good game. Filled with great characters, a great story, and great events. Recently, FGO NA had its 5th anniversary. Looking back to when I first started playing FGO, it's come a long way, improving with each passing year, all the new servants, animation, events, and updates. But by no means was the game perfect. There were plenty of hiccups along the way, but nevertheless, I think that these hiccups sort of added to FGO's charm. So without further ado, here's my journey playing FGO. Summer. Who doesn't like summer? With many gacha games, there seems to be this one rule. Gacha games must include summer events, and during these events, swimsuit characters are always out for grabs. Fate Go, in particular, I find has a great cast of summer catalog servants. The first summer event was very exciting for me. I managed to pull most of the servants I wanted, and on that banner, I pulled Mordred Rider. Ever since then, she became one of my favorite servants, which I ended up grailing. And with the new Castoria unit,
every day is Big Wednesday.
do you remember your first 5-star on FGO? I do. Mine was Kana. Man, was it a while until I got another, but boy, was Kana a solid first 5-star. Eventually, I got Kana to bond level 10. He was one of my first servants to reach bond level 10 actually. After that, I admittedly stopped using him because I feel that using Bond 10 servants is a bit of a waste when I could get Bond points for another servant. I did pick him back up though when Lost Belt 4 came out and he got that sick ass costume. Like, look at it, it's got flames and shit. Over my time playing, I grailed Mordred, Saber, and Ryder, Ishtar, Ereshkigal, and I forgot how you say her name, Riya.
Istria,
aka Luvia. I plan on incorporating a Grailed unit from every class into my roster in the future. I might need to stock up on some Grails though, because of the new introduced level 120 that needs so many resources. I swear I'm gonna go broke. Now, I've seen each route in Fate's Day Night, and I gotta say, Rin best girl, don't at me. So naturally, when Arash was coming to NA, it was game time. I saved up all my quartz for 4 months. I hoarded them. I was a bear in hibernation. When the day finally arrived, stars aligned and I managed to pull her. To be honest, I consider myself lucky. I'm sure there's someone out there that saved for even longer than I did and didn't get her. If that's you, buddy, we've all been there. This leads to the next section, the gacha. I've been lucky in some of my summons, sometimes not so much. It took me 2 years to finally obtain a copy of Waver during the Fate Zero rerun. When people say that Waver makes your life so much easier, that's not an understatement. I've sunk over 400 quartz for Skadi on NA's 4th year anniversary and didn't get her. However, in saying that I didn't get Skadi, I do have a Merlin that I got on my first multi during Summer 4. I had tried to get him on previous banners, but that was to no avail. I've pulled 2 5-stars in my GSSR summon back to back. That was pretty epic. I've got my waifus, Arash and Ishtar, and Mordred. But Mordred, the Saber version, was the hardest to attain of them all. Ever since that I got Mordred Rider, I desperately wanted her Saber version. Every banner I got a chance. God straight up didn't stamp my mopile. I eventually got her though when it came around to the free GSSR. It took a damn while, but she came home. My first MP5 servant was Emir Archer. To this date, I don't have any MP5 5-stars, but I do have a couple of MP5 4-stars though. Story. Each piece of content in the earlier days introduced new servants like Jean with Orleans or Nero with Septum, who were the heralds dictating where the new location of the story would be based. Fuyuki, Orleans, Septum, Okeanos, London, North America, Camelot,
Second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place.
Babylonia, and Solomon were the original 9 pieces of the main record, which would become part 1 of the game. Over time, the story developed into an engaging read. Eventually, Babylonia received an anime adaptation. That shit was good.
Nice.
Like, the combat in that anime, godly. In the end, the Solomon endgame style boss fight was so high. Seeing all these servants and other singularities come together to fight against Solomon legit made me cry, man. I can't wait for the Solomon movie. Soon after came the main record 1.5, aka Pseudo Singularity. Shinjuku, Agartha, Mimosa, and Salem were, in my opinion, short glimpses into the Lost Belt. But before we went through the Lost Belt story, we got a short, and when I mean short, I really mean 2-hour long prologue that set up the excitement for the coming Lost Belt. Real quick, spoiler warning. Skip to this timestamp below. Bruh, when they introduced this guy canonically into Fate Grand Order, he had the audacity to do this. Mance was going mental, I gotta say. This later led to main record 2, Cosmos and the Lost Belt. I've seen in JP currently where they are with the story. It looks very exciting. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Gameplay. Now, FGO doesn't have the most riveting gameplay in the world. It's simple enough that I bet you could teach a chimp. Press the red button to do big stonks damage. Yeah, that's where it lays its charm. It's too simple. I tend to find myself playing it in the background of things like YouTube. It's a very chill game, but every now and then, it does challenge you gameplay-wise. Challenge quests are a great example. I always at least try to attempt them. Other times that I was challenged by the difficulty was the Camelot difficulty spike that just jumped from London to Camelot, and if you weren't prepared for it, you would just decimated. As well, that Hercules fight in Agartha, I think I used my command codes and 2 quads to beat him. It was a real pain in my butt. Skillfest Tiger's Challenge Quest, I still haven't beat that. I think that was probably the hardest mission I've ever attempted. He straight up slaughtered my whole team in a tiger onesie. The miscellaneous. Remember when we had the 24-hour maintenance that broke everybody's login streak? I do. It was straight warfare.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
Do you also remember the one quality of life update that made those blue bars in the iOS version appear? I do. At one time, a rash was trending on Twitter. Exactly what I like. Goals. After all this time, I've been sinking countless hours into the game. Only now, on the 5th anniversary for NA, I finally fully leveled up my servant box. Every servant that I currently have is max level. Ever since I started playing this game, one of my main goals was to see everybody sync right. There are approximately 291 servants according to the Spirit Origin list in the game. I rarely spend money on the game, so there's no way I have every servant. If you do the math, kind of impossible. I just don't have enough quartz. In saying this, I do have a fair amount of servants, so getting to the point where I can say I quite like the state of my account and finally reaching my goal is pretty awesome. I guess my new goal is to somehow get everybody's skills to 999. Wonder how long that would take. Honestly, I might stop playing and not even reach that goal. Yep. I feel it's all been leading up to where we are now. The current state of FGO has been getting polished for some time now. The JP version is on its 7th anniversary. The potential of FGO to become a mobile game that lives for quite a long time is pretty much evident. As a Fate fan, I can't wait for what the future brings for Fate content. Thanks for listening to me talk about my journey with FGO. That's pretty much it for the video. Make sure to leave any comments that you might have about a nostalgic time that you had playing FGO, something you're looking forward to in the game's future, or any FGO related content. I'd be glad to read them. One more thing. I have a TikTok and Instagram now. If you like, go check it out and be sure to follow. And if you clicked on this video and are new to FGO, I've got an FGO beginners video that you might be interested in. I'll leave it on the screen or in the description. If you like this video, drop a like, and if you want to see more FGO type content, subscribe. Have a marvelous day. See ya.